Dracula, Lord of the Damned from 2011. We all know that vampires and Dracula is sort of the most well-known one. So I thought I'd watch the movie and see if it's worth watching. Is it? Let you know after the theme song.
Kyle's Reviews! Kyle's Reviews!
So, it's October, so all month long I'm doing 2 reviews a week, so be sure to like and subscribe. Thumbs up. So, Dracula, Lord of the Damned from 2011. If you want to watch it, check the link in the description. Now, I'd read Dracula a long time ago, but I don't really remember a whole lot about it, except it's an epistolatory novel. So I thought it'd be a good idea to watch it and review it. So, IMDb says this was released in 2011, but I'm not sure when it was actually filmed, because first of all, it's in 4:3 aspect ratio, and it really looks like it was shot on VHS. So this film, it's really like an art project by its director, who goes by the name Theodore Trout. I don't know if that's a real name. He also plays Dracula, and it really is very arty. The whole thing is just kind of black and white, or you know, subtle, very muted color tones. There's lots of double exposures and optical filters on things, which tries to make up for its lack of budget. At times, I found that kind of charming. I was like, okay. And they do a couple things that's interesting. But it's also some of the things that he chose to do are kind of baffling, because it really sort of ruins it. So this movie sticks pretty close to the original novel. We start with Jonathan Harker traveling to see the Count. And this is where we sort of really get our first problem, because there's a lot of footage of this Harker just walking and walking and walking and walking. The opening credits are also kind of a red flag, because we've had this opening sequence with, you know, sort of moody music, and then the music that plays during the credits is like some hair metal band thing. And while I'm talking about the music, most of it is kind of orchestral, but it sounds like, I'm sure it was, you know, played on a keyboard. Some of it may be stock footage. At one point, they even used the old pipe organ, toccata and fugue in D minor.
I am Dracula. Please, come in. Come in.
So, the music isn't great. Sticking with the opening credits, the art they use, so it's kind of this sort of, not really animated, but sort of sequential art. It's sort of like frames from a comic book or something. And it's depicting the things that Vlad the Tempest did, like impaling people on poles. But the art style, you could tell the person, I'm assuming it's Trout, has talent, but it's also kind of cartoony. Kind of reminds me of ElfQuest. I never really read that much, but I've seen the covers of those. So it's this kind of cartoony look, but then it's supposed to be Dracula and stuff. It doesn't work. So the rest of the film then, as I said, it's pretty close to the book. Dracula goes to London, seduces a woman, her and her father and some others, her friend and some suitors, and Dr. Van Helsing. They try to stop the Count. Final confrontation with the Count is also where some of the stranger special effects happen. So we've been this kind of muted color, black and white style. And at one point, they have this red, very cartoony animated blood splurting out of somebody. And we see them confront the sort of female vampires. And they have these little faces that look like the, you know, very poorly done special effects. I said there were some things that were good for it. They make Dracula sort of convinced that he is the savior of humanity. He is sent by God.
I am the resurrection of the body. I am the life everlasting. I am Dracula.
That's mentioned when we first meet Dracula, and when they finally confront Dracula, that's it. They mention again, but throughout the rest of the movie, it's not mentioned at all. So I think that's an interesting choice that, that's always the villain always sees themselves as the hero, right? But they didn't do much with it. So like I always do, I try to give them credit for getting the movie done. But like I said, they made some really weird choices. So I got to give Dracula Lord of the Damned 2 thumbs down. It tries to be art, but not professional. Don't quit your day job. But don't quit watching. So like, and subscribe.